Welcome to the SALT Sideline Report. We are here at SALT, New York, joined by Caroline Abramo, the CEO and founder of Pana LCE. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It is great to be here in New York City and at this event.
It's wonderful to be back in real life. We are all feeling the energy in New York this week. And you were actually you were moderating a panel this week at SALT about climate change, which is obviously Pana LCE, low carbon emission investments. It's such a big topic and New York is at the forefront of it. Why don't you give us a couple insights from the panel and maybe tell us about how New York has Climate Change Week coming up next week, which I know is a big deal for you.
It sure is. So it's nice to share my passions about New York and also about reducing climate across the world. One of the things that we talked about in the panel was just how accessible this is to investors, and that there are so many ways for individuals to invest in climate technology that will reduce carbon across the globe.
And so what are some of the biggest key initiatives that you're focusing on at Pana?
So we are involved in a lot of subsectors that are important. So generally power generation, so really clean power generation. Renewables is something that people really know. Things that people don't maybe know, maybe things like carbon capture, like how we're actually taking carbon out of the atmosphere and out of all of our industrial processes, and we're able to transform that carbon into things of value, like clothes.
Very cool. And you know, you and I were actually just speaking earlier on the couch before our discussion for the Sideline Report about how New York is really at the forefront of climate change, and it's not often discussed. People think California sometimes, but I know you are a native New Yorker and proud to be. Tell us how New York is at the forefront of climate change.
It sure is. So from a policy perspective, New York has always been, probably right about after California, in terms of, clean power, clean generation, clean industry. We have great companies here in New York. We have tons of battery companies that we're looking to invest in. We have projects across the city. So New York is really up there. And I think we're going to continue that. It's going to accelerate, as we go through, new administrations and as we get more into climate, and we are gearing up for a COP26 in Europe. And next week, which you mentioned, thank you so much, is Climate Week in New York. And that's around the UN, who's converging leaders around the world to talk about climate, about how they're dealing with it.
And another thing that's a really big topic at SALT this week is digital assets, Bitcoin, all the different kinds of crypto. Bitcoin mining has been in the news recently as something that's maybe not the most climate-friendly activity. Bitcoin mining, obviously, Elon Musk has been on Twitter talking about it. What are your thoughts there? And is that ever going to be something that's sustainable and viable?
It sure is. And actually Bitcoin, and I said yesterday that carbon and climate is the biggest investment opportunity of my lifetime. And then I said, besides Bitcoin and blockchain. And we are actually looking at a lot of projects for Bitcoin mining that use renewable sources of energy. So there's a lot of energy that's used with Bitcoin mining, but there are ways that we can use non-carbon generating sources. And so we can really reduce the whole energy effect. So those are great projects, and we're very interested in doing those.
So we don't necessarily have to worry about Elon's tweets about Bitcoin mining.
No, and I think he'll be a much bigger convert going forward.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. I'm sure a lot of people at SALT this week are, because Bitcoin and crypto is a huge topic of conversation here. And we really appreciate you moderating the climate change panel. Important stuff. And you're a 30+ year expert in the industry. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you. It has been great. And it's great to see you. And next time we'll be in Dubai.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Me too.